Hello survivors, I'm the SurvivalVis, and we return to the Hunter, Call of the Wild. It's been a little while since we did any bit of this series, so I figured we'd come back in and just have a little bit of a hike around, explore, and show off one of the two base reserves yet in the game. So, the previous 3 episodes were all done in the Belmont Lake District, I believe. We are in Hirschfelden, I believe it's called. Let me see. Yeah, Hirschfelden Hunting Reserve. I'm hoping I'm getting that pronunciation right. And it was the Layton Lake District where we were at the other time. So there's an interesting variety of game across all the different reserves. I'm just going to try to get my binoculars out. There we go. See if we can do a little glassing around, spot anything. I figured we just do a couple of episodes, say 20 to 30 minutes-ish, just go for a little hike, look around, just to have a little bit of a relaxing time in the game. Because it is probably the most accurate hunting simulator or hunting game out there on the market. I don't know of anything that would actually really come close. If I were to think back of what were other... Before the Hunter, there wasn't really anything too accurate if you kind of think about, well, accuracy and immersion to it. There was an old GameCube game that was Cabela's Big Game Hunter 2005, I think it was the year? It was something like that. And that was probably actually one of the best hunting games I think that actually went out. Granted, if you try playing it again, it's going to look like such a pixelated mess of everything. But I'd have to hand it that it was, for its time, probably one of the best hunting games out there. Then the Cabela's series kind of went arcadey, and it just lost everything it had for it. I thought I saw something there. But once the Hunter came around, it definitely... Wait, why is it saying... I might have to head back to that outpost for a second, because on the map, normally your green highlights are things you've not yet discovered. So, for some reason, that outpost is green too. So, you know what, we're just going to do a little sprint to get there faster. Normally, if you're traveling through the game, I'd recommend not sprinting, just because you never know where game can be, so you can easily spook anything that you're looking for. But we'll quickly head back, see if we have to claim... Oh, it's got 2 icons. That is weird. Well, we'll at least kind of claim that and then keep going and try to find something. This episode will probably be going after fallow deer. As you can see, actually, yeah, here we go. Right in the corner, there's a little mission to go after some that are gold scoring. I don't know what the hell that was, to be honest. But anyway, we'll go after fallow deer this episode. Then the next episode, number 5, we're going to take on some of the biggest game in the game. There's European bison that we can go after. Okay, a little odd, but I guess we'll reclaim free XP reward. Now, unfortunately, my interest in the game did kind of taper off quite a bit because of the change they did to the progression system.
That area earlier this morning. Hold on, I'll send the coordinates.
Okay, well, good for that. But anyway, the progression system. Every level you used to up to level... what the hell actually am I? Let me get... Come on. There's our ugly mug. Yeah, so every level up to, I guess, level 37, you'll get 1 point for a stock, or 1 point in skills and 1 point in perks, and they alternate. So level... Ooh, what do we got there? Something. So, level 2, say you'll get a perk point, level 3 you'll get a skill, level 4 you'll get a perk. So, it kind of goes like that. Unfortunately, once you hit level 37, it stops that pattern, and it's only 1 point every 3 levels. So, you get 37, then at 40, I guess you get a skill point, then at 43 you'll get a perk point. So that really dropped my interest with it, because your steady progression suddenly broke off a bit, and you kind of feel... It's much more grindy than you really want, but then the Hunter series has always kind of had a grind in it. This is going pretty slow, isn't it? Okay, well, we heard the call coming from somewhere around here. Oh, there it is. So there's... Okay, so there's some road deer. Those guys are really small game. It's kind of surprising how different the game sizes and animals really are compared to reserves. Like, if you grew up in North America, you're used to the white-tailed deer, the mule deer, blacktails, fair-sized game and deer. When I first learned about roe deer, I was surprised that there was deers that tiny, to be honest. Oh, fallow are also around here, so that's actually what we want to be after. And I think I just realized something I'm missing. Let me... Just give me a moment there. Okay, there we go. Everything's all lined up better. Yeah, we don't have any of our callers, so this is going to be a bit of a... It's a good thing we're going to be using rifles for this for this episode, because I can't really call in like I normally do. There's kind of two more distinct play styles. The skills that highlight them. Basically, you're either a stalker or an ambusher. I know, great names to really describe yourself as. Stalker is basically slowly tracking and working your way to the animal. An ambusher is calling them in from, say, a stand or a blind or just a spot of cover. So I've not been the most patient person ever. So I went fully into Stalker for its skills and its perks. Because I was always the kind to want to try to track down, get closer, and find that perfect shot to try to take them on. I do think, though, the ambusher... Ooh. Oh, I heard something there. Just want to turn the volume up a little bit. Yeah, I can hear something, but I don't know what it is. Okay, well that's our roe deer. So that's what we heard coming towards us. So let's see. He's probably spooked out, so maybe he'll go a little more into the open. That way we can get a better view of him. But we're just going to stay low and try to slowly work our way to catch up to him. One of the very nice things about Hirschfelden compared to the Leighton Lake District, though, are these nice wide open fields. You can glass anything across these. You have great visibility. Now, as you can see there, fallow deer way across the way there. Well, that's a female, so we want to be looking for the bucks or the males. Nope. I saw something over there. I guess eyes are playing a few tricks. Yeah, the eyes are definitely playing a few tricks on me. Can you tell this is my first recording session for today? Already stumbling on my words a bit. Oh. Oh, no, I guess that was just a bit of pollen or something I saw. Oh, yeah, it is. Okay. Not really seeing where that roe deer was, and I'm not really going to be able to call them in either. It sounds like, though, they're actually just... maybe right at the bottom of this hill. So the roe deer, because of their size, they only take a weapon class of 1. So that's the caliber I have right now out. There we go. Really? That did not take him down. I am tempted to try another shot off on him. Really, 2 did not take it down. I am surprised about that. I gotta see where that shot hit then, because he's still going for quite a while. I really thought I got a lot. I could have sworn that would have been through a lung. I know the second one wouldn't have been. Well, there's more fallow deer off in the distance, so we'll remember to go back around this way for those. But I could have sworn that shot we lined up would have been through the lung. That's one of the problems I've also had with game, is that its hit detection has sometimes been really weird and disputable. A shot like that, I really thought would have gotten into the lung. But anyway, while we're here, let me just pull up my inventory so you guys can see the loadout. So if we come across a very small game like rabbits or hares, I use the 22 caliber. That's fortunately DLC, as you can see there. I'm afraid the Hunter Call of the Wild did slip into getting a lot of DLC stuff kind of added in, whereas we were kind of hoping it wouldn't, but it is what it is. And then for any small games, such as the roe deers or coyotes, I use the 223 Docent. For just regular-sized game like the fallow deer, we're going to be using a 243. I'm trying to think of how you kind of describe that. 243 bolt action, and then I use a crossbow and a recurve just to work on my archery a little bit. I normally prefer using the archery stuff just because it kind of feels more, I guess, challenging might not be the right word, but maybe sporting, as bad as that might be to say. Okay, so this is where the second one got him. Another non-vital. Yeah, I knew that one wouldn't be a non-vital. Before I do, I want to check the codex. Because in here you can find all the wildlife and what the weapon classes are for them. So for roe deer, weapon class 1. That's what I thought, so really weird that it didn't get a lung. I'm not going to try to stay too much on that. I'm sure nobody wants to hear me rambling on that much about it, but we will track him down and bag him. And then we'll go off and see if we can spot something else. Can't see anything quite up ahead. I do admit, I think the tracking system is quite a bit better in this version of the Hunter than the classic one. Because the classic one, it seemed like you couldn't figure out a proper trail, almost. You would have double backs, well, you still have double backs that are quite annoying. And you can't really zoom in any closer on the map than what you see in the little bottom left there. That, I wish you could zoom right in and you kind of hook up all the points that you kind of put together for where they went. Oh, there's the deer. Just gotta get through all this brush. So let's see where it thinks we actually got a hit on him. Well, there he is, just resting right there. Okay, this is why the hit detection is all kinds of screwed up. Examine this. It goes in through the right side, and it looks like it's supposed to lodge into maybe that humerus that stopped us. But even then, it looks like it should have gone further, but it somehow hits the other side. This is where, and then this one, again, it's really weird. Look at the penetration on that. I mean, I could guess kind of it hit bone, but even then, this one went through the pelvic bone. It literally went right through the pelvic bone to get the intestine, so I don't know how this game operates sometimes. It's really weird. As much as it's a full release game, you'll come across all kinds of bugs and issues that still could be worked on and smoothed out. That was a case in point, but they're still one of the best hunting games there is, if not the best currently. So that's done. We'll do a little bit more glassing around. I think we probably spooked everything off that we might have found around us. So we'll just follow this along and see where it gets over this way. See if we can't bag another deer or two. I do want to try for the fallow deer, because they have some really neat antlers. But it makes me wonder what people think if you... Like, okay, if you live in North America, look up deer like the axis deer and the fallow deer, take a look at their antler shapes, and just how alien they seem. Oh, what's that? Oh, a couple of fallow, but just some does. So no buck with them, so they're not really worth it. And then if you're in Europe, look up things like the Roosevelt elk and the mule deer, and just see how different the antler configurations are. is really I don't know if it's something like natural selection or what to really warrant just such a variety of species. And I think actually axis deer were added in DLC for the game too, but I don't exactly have the money to throw around to be picking up DLC and stuff like that. It's just more kind of using what I already have in the game's library, and really hope that some Steam sales come along to round that out a bit. And though this was the series where I did talk about the Epic Game Store, I'm going to try to avoid... Oh, that was a deer call. I was trying to figure out what the hell that was. No, it was almost a plane or something overhead. But anyway, back to topic. I know I do jump topic a lot. I gotta work on narrowing down, kind of keeping a single coherent thought to its end, don't I? Anyway, on to the Epic Game Store. Yes, I have more I could rant and ramble about, but I want to probably do that in more separate videos. Not something where, my opinion, you'll have to watch this series and I throw it on you. No, if you want to watch and learn about that opinion, I want to make it its own separate thing. You can pick or choose if you want to know or not. Because one of the things is... I think today, modern day and age, we've forgotten about that question, kind of, though we could, should we? Because that seems like it's something that really gets lost a lot these days. Well, that and just a number of changes that, again, I don't want to rant too much onto those. I'd rather, maybe stick them into a different series or somewhere they're kind of more parallel in a way. I'm not the one who's going to be trying to be a video preacher to you guys, and this is how you should live, or what you're doing, or anything like that. No, I just want to show off games, give my opinions, give some exposure, and try to build up popularity and help the devs out of some pretty amazing games. I will have personal opinions and rants that I could go on, but I'll probably save those for more opinion pieces that'll be completely separate. Or I'll just use the game as a complete backdrop and keep it as not actually a part of the series. What else, eh? Let me take a look at the map, see if we're getting near anything. We're still north of the fields a little bit, but it looks like we're coming into a new field once we go along a little ways. So we'll just keep making our way along, keep our binoculars out, just so that way... Okay, that's a rock. I was going to say, I thought that was going to be just a rock or a log or something. Whenever your mind is looking for a certain shape or outline, you'll see that everywhere and get confused by it. Power suggestion for you folks, right there. Okay, so we're coming up to a nice little area here. Nothing really up the hill there. I do see some tracks over here. So, let's see if we can find anything else along these fields. And if you were probably playing a little smarter, you might want to crouch to get up to a vantage point, just so that way, depending on if anything is really close or not, you don't spook it. But, as you might have learned from my series, I'm not exactly what you'd call overly intelligent. So, there are ducks you can hunt in the game, and I'm hearing a bunch of them over somewhere. That's just a bird. Okay, let's do a little bit of glassing around just to see if we can spot anything. Nothing really standing out. Yeah, nothing really from this vantage point, so I don't think we'll have luck on this field. Maybe just try looking in the trees a little bit more. Sometimes you can find animals just kind of lurking a little off the road. In real life too, because that's basically... They basically use it the same way we do. Easier movement. Nature is always trying to conserve energy, which means nature tries to find the path of least resistance. There's no point in trying to expend extra energy for something if you can avoid it. And that's like the philosophy of work harder, work smarter, not harder. And of course, as I say, I'm not going to try to give you opinions on that. I get all philosophical and crap on you guys. Sorry about that. I think it's something that just comes naturally as you kind of want to talk and keep the audience engaged a little bit. Even if the audience might only be one person, I still want to be present just to have a little chat and share and express myself a little bit. Although, as I say that, the channel actually got a random couple of subscribers to it out of nowhere, really. I don't know where or how, but I will happily accept and thank you guys for those. And this is, I can't really say it's about halfway through. I'd say this is about start of the second third for my big recording blitz I gotta do. I know there's unfortunately going to be quite a few days where I can't really do any recording sessions. I can do the editing and uploading, no problem, but I want to make sure I can try to get everything together so that way during those 10 days there's a good variety of content going up. Actually, that's a question I should probably pose to you guys right now. Is what do you think is better for a channel? Would you like a series uploaded start to end, or would you like it kind of broken up with some other smaller series entwined in the middle for variety? That's something I've always been kind of trying to think of asking you guys, but it only came up now. Like, for instance, if I were to do... Well, one of the games I'm going to do is Winter Meat. What the hell? Was that a crow? Anyway, one of the games I'm going to do is Winter Mute, or The Long Dark Winter Mute Chapter 2. So I want to know what you guys think of how you'd like to kind of see that series go up on the channel. Would you like it start to finish, each day is one episode until it's at its conclusion? Or would you like to say, see episode 1 Monday, episode 2 Wednesday, episode 3 Friday? So that way it's a little broken up, or maybe even episode 1 Tuesday, episode 2 Thursday. You know, just kind of have a little bit of a break in between, so that way it kind of keeps going, but you also have a little bit of variety in things. I've normally been the type, because I admit, I've watched quite a few Let's Players, Jacksepticeye, Markiplier. I do wish they'd kind of focus back onto proper Let's Plays. Mark maybe, after he's done his current big project or whatever it was. Jack, though, I'd like to see less memes, to be honest. He's one of the guys who I follow because he was, well, I can't exactly say grounded Let's Player given how energetic and loud he can be, but he's one that really wrapped you in and you wanted to see the series with them. The memes don't do it for me. Memes, I'm afraid I do not find much entertainment from them. If they're well done, okay, I can see, but you don't really find well done anymore. Or they're very hard to come by. So it's kind of things like that. I'd like to try to be more of the traditional Let's Play that doesn't change in a way, or maybe adds additions, but always sticks to that ground and where I came from in a way. Something where I'm not kind of ignoring that core that I built from, or ignoring the roots where this channel might go to. Or is it the roots I came from to wherever I go to? Oh. Oh, that's another road here, actually. Another road here, and I don't have the right calls for it. Well, that's really biting me in the rear this time. But maybe if we stay low and quiet, it'll come out like we saw the other one did. I don't know how true that might be, but we do know there's one somewhere in the area. And this is where, like I say, if I had the call, I could be a little more patient and I'd probably wait it out and try to bring it in. But I'm an idiot! So we're going to have to do this a little bit of a tougher way. want to keep going slow, glass often, because as soon as we spot him, kind of bring ourselves on... Oh! No, I probably want to get some people who hate me. But... you gotta take the opportunities when they present themselves. Case in point, he kind of presented himself for that one. So that's probably sent the road here way off that we're not going to be able to see that one. I may glass around and stay here just in case. Because the animal AI is... well, it's a good thing I'm an idiot playing this game, because the animals can also be kind of idiots too. You can spook them off, they'll run away, but then they try to path right back to where they were before they got scared. It's a weird system in place for them. And, yeah, hit detection was right on for this one. So, red foxes are one in the game you can hunt in the game. I always try to aim for just a single shot to take them down, quick and merciful. Or quick and painless, as you want to put it. That does sometimes get thrown aside because of how the hit detection works. You know what, let's go up this way a little bit. We're getting, what, 30-minute mark? Well, I kind of feel bad, we've only gotten 2... Oh! Actually, that'd probably be a pretty good scoring one, so let me see if I can... And now I realize I should probably check and make sure that lure works, doesn't it? Okay, it does. I was going to say, I don't even know if that lure actually works on red foxes or not, so it might just actually be doing nothing trying to use it. But if we can get him to peek out, that would probably be another very good scoring animal for getting. Problem is, I don't know if that would actually... I'll try a little more. No, we don't need the elk collar, that's going to be useless here. Kind of surprised that that fox we saw was basically almost like the first one we had, but those are so hard to go after. You basically got to spot them when they're in the open, or you can call them in, because with how dense the vegetation can be, you don't even know where they might be. That's kind of my problem right now, to be honest. I don't know if it went up into the bush and kept going, or it might be coming down through here a little bit. I thought I'm hearing something to my right as well, but maybe not. Okay, I'm going to try to get into a little bit more of cover, kind of. No, that's the wrong collar. We're trying to bring animals in, not let them know aliens have arrived. I wonder how certain animals might even react to calls from animals of other continents. Like, what the heck would they think hearing an elk call? I wonder how good animals are at recognizing calls. Like, oh... there we go. Patience pays off. Kind of. Okay, we'll keep glassing them until we can see them kind of pop... oh! There we go. I think that was a hit, but I can't really tell. Yeah, I probably ran up to stick in the foliage. So we'll head for that path right there and see if we can find anything. I do admit I didn't like how he was kind of lined up. Because unfortunately, well, as we saw with that first roe deer, the hit detection can be sporadic in where it thinks you actually got the shot off on. And there's actually not really a way to zero in your weapons. Well, not in the way you'd think. Like, you'd be able to go to a range and work on the scope and tweak that until you get lined up. Oh. Oh, there he is. Fell over right up here. So that was a hit. So we'll go for 10 more minutes. I'm okay with doing a 40-minute episode. I do have to figure out episode lengths. I'm torn between what I've seen and how much time is a little too much per episode. Like, one of the channels that I've watched a little bit is the Game Grumps. I mean, let's face it, they've been around for quite a while, so they are one of the more well-known Let's Play channels, even if... Actually, I don't think their subscriber count is all that high. Yeah, that was kind of an odd one for where it went, but we'll take that. And I find that if they only do like a 10-minute episode or 12, 13 minutes, it feels like it's not really that much that happens in it. So I want to try to get a good amount of content without being too long. It's a lot of balancing acts. That's all life is balancing A and B to try to get a perfect level for yourself. Not for what other people think. And that's a big one that you gotta figure out, and maybe you're not always told to, but you should try to, is find your own balance. Not what other people think it should be, not what other people say it should be. Work it to your balance in your life. You are the person who's going to know what's best for you, and that might mean that sometimes you do have to listen to others and take in what they're trying to tell you. Other times, though, you also might have to disregard it entirely and say, that's wrong, that's not for me. Again, that balancing act that life is. And good lord, I'm getting more philosophical than I thought. I don't know if it's the setting, just because I'm kind of on a wilderness hike that lets you talk about other stuff like that and lose yourself a bit, or I'm just going a little crazy here. I'd say 50-50. Well, we'll head up this way, see if we can spot anything else. I still have not found a fallow deer yet, and I do want to make the episode, or not this episode, but next episode, going after some of the biggest game in the game, which are going to be those bison. Because those guys you actually won't really be able to tackle until well into the game. Let's see. European bison. They're a weapon class 4. And there's only, I think, one current weapon that is actually a weapon class 4 that you can unlock. It's a very powerful rifle. I don't have it with me. We'll have to... Start of the next episode, we'll kit ourselves out a little bit for it. Well, that was a roe deer heading off that way. Well, I can certainly hear all kinds of ducks over there. And all around us, really. Well, I've never really been one for bird hunting in any of the games. It's all, that kind of feels arcade shooter in a way. And that's never really been my style. It's more be in their element and trying to get the edge on them a bit. So, let's see what we got here. More roe deer prints. Nope, red fox. Well, I've already gotten a couple of red fox. I think we're okay with focusing on something else. Nope, just how the terrain kind of is. Okay. The hunting stands, they're very good if you're going for the ambusher route. because you can put down sense and call, and you'll probably get a lot of luck through those. If you're more on the go like myself, I don't think a lot of those skills will be helpful for you. Like, here's my build so far. 3 in the locate tracks, 3 in the track knowledge, 2 for increased visibility. I probably didn't even actually need this one hardened, but some of the animals you go after will hurt you. Soft feet reduce noise, connect the dots, make it easier to track. One thing for improvised blind, I don't think the innate triangulation or the endurance will help too much. The startle call, I'll admit, this hasn't been very useful. It seems like what it should do is immediately stop animals around you and give you, say, a second or two to be able to take your shot. Instead, they go to the end of their walk cycle animation, and it doesn't even seem like they stop at the end of it. They just start sprinting off from there. It's one of the things that I think could be tweaked a little better. And disturb vegetation, probably not even really necessary. It just adds another track type, but it doesn't really help more for the thing. And then into here, I got the scent tinkerer just to unlock the spotting knowledge. I'd have to say these two are the ones I want to get the most. Spotting knowledge to get how, level 3, information about where the animal is. So that tells you how careful or close you can kind of get in. And the other one is where you can look down the sights of your weapon to be able to tag an animal. So, as you saw in some of the other videos, when you use binoculars on an animal, you get the spot, and that kind of gives a little outline that you can see through foliage. Basically unlock that ability looking down the sights of a weapon. So that's a very helpful thing to have. And honestly, if I had the money, I need 52, yeah, so that's another thing, is it takes way too much money to really respect yourself in a way. I'd honestly just kind of like to see the game open up a little more, let you do more or whatever you like. Like, instead of putting this change in the progression curve where now it slows right down, and even how long it can take to level up to, a little squish towards that, just to promote playing, but not promote how grindy it is. It's close to a balance where I'd say between how much you have to do to unlock something and whether it's worth it or not. Like, for a prime example is actually in the perks tree here. Like, the rifle stuff, this was all pretty much standard stuff. I'd say all weapons should be a good thing to build up towards. I put a couple in a handgun, just so that way I could get... Actually, ooh, that might be the next perk I'm after, because that could be helpful. Is gauge approximate, especially in archery. And then this is the archery tree so far. So probably next episode, just because I admit I am being a little rushy here, because we are getting up to a pretty long amount of time have we been out for. Almost 40 minutes now. I think I want to try bagging one more animal. And then that'll bring this episode to a close. And then I'll go a little better into the details of... Ooh. Actually, that's a bison down here. I think we're going to take a cue from when we were playing. Yeah, we're going to need the highest grain we've got for this if we do get close enough. We're going to take a cue from carnivores and go after the big game when it presents itself. Or even if we have to find it. Oh, I see them. Ooh, okay, there's a number of them, so I gotta... Doesn't look like there are any males in that herd. Oh, actually, this is a huge herd of them. That's one of the things, too, is the game can spawn some pretty large herds of animals sometimes. Well, that was pretty off. Yeah, there was the warning call for us. So we'll see if we can get any closer. I have a feeling this is probably going to be rough on us. Yeah, there are more warning calls. I don't know if they can really hear me, or it's just because of what happened to the others that we spooked a bit. But we'll try getting a little closer and see if we can bag one. Next episode, though, I'll take us to probably the best place to try to find them. And we'll really look at taking down some trophies. So as you can see... yeah, they're all over there, and they're probably a little skittish now because of our attempt. So I don't know if we'll actually be able to get close enough to try properly with the crossbow. And I definitely don't have the calibers to do anything more than just injure them and make them angry. Oh, and there was a red fox. Anything up around us? I'll aim for one more animal that we can bag, and then that'll probably be this... oh! And of course, they are fallow deer. They all look to be females. Yeah, it's like a herd of females there, so unfortunately no male to really show off the antlers. Hasn't exactly gone to plan so far, has it? Sounds like that red fox is pretty close, maybe just even right up here. Not that you'd really be able to see it through all the grass. Actually, where are we? Yeah, I think this is actually close to... there was one spot where I came across a pretty big herd of bison, so this is actually getting us really close to that. Their spawns are fairly well spread out across the map, across all game. But some species you kind of find clustered in certain areas. Yeah, unfortunately I think those bison are pretty long gone. So our best bet might be trying to see... maybe trying to get a fallow deer if we can. Yeah, fortunately, I was hoping there'd be at least one buck in with all the females here. Seems like you either have a herd of males or a herd of females, but you don't really see them mixed too often. Or if they do, it's only like 3 animals. Oh, and there's that red fox again. Yeah, we've already taken down 2. I don't want to try for a 3rd. Let's get a little variety, shall we? We've been... well, I've been prattling about that old game, so let's live up to that. Yeah, no males, unfortunately. So looks like it's basically just going to be picking out one of these ones that we want to... and they're all basically trivial, so there's nothing you can really aim for one more than another. And we'll get low to keep a very steady aim. Look, now that should have been a lung. And if the game tells me otherwise, again, I'm going to disagree with that. And we're only going to go after the one. We've been on this for 44 minutes now. I'm actually hoping we can cross the river here, because if not, that's going to be a bit of a pain to get to. Oh, you're going to be a pain to get to, aren't you? Okay, well... Now, let me see. Well, there's a bridge up here, so maybe I'll be right back after we can kind of get up there and go around to finding this spot again. Let's just put a waypoint so we can make it back more easily. And, well, we'll see how long it takes. I might edit all this out, I might not. Yeah, maybe next episode I'll even take out the ATVs. Because that's another piece of DLC that I actually picked up because it'll make getting all the waypoints across the map or all the outposts much easier. And it's fun driving the ATVs around. As long as you don't drive them off a cliff. That's happened to me a couple of times. And it likes to immediately eject you as soon as you start going a little too far off a certain angle from them. Okay, finally reached the little bridge here, so let's go over it. And thankfully we do have unlimited sprint. Oh, am I going to piss off you guys even further? I think I may. Oh, hello. Exactly what I've been looking for this entire game. Well, this entire episode, actually. That was a fallow deer. I guess none of this is getting edited out. Edited. I gotta work on pronunciation, don't I? But that little glimpse was exactly what we were looking for. So it only took us 50 minutes to find what we were after. But I think we'll definitely try going for it. As much as I do want to... Oh! Actually, we're en route to collect that one that we did get the shot off on. I do have to admit, that is a nice little quality of life touch they put in the game, was being able to see down animals from quite a distance. So we'll collect this body, and then we'll go and try to get that male, or that buck fallow we saw. I don't know if maybe it went to get a drink from the water or not. Either way, though, we should probably be able to get pretty close to get a nice trophy. Well, maybe not a nice trophy, given... I don't think I've actually really found any super trophy animals in the game, but it's still going to be a very, very good addition to our day of hunting. Nope. Well, there's a red fox somewhere up ahead, too. And unfortunately, the wind in the bottom right, you can see that little green cone is the direction that the wind is blowing our scent. Yeah, I knew that was going to be a long shot. That one had to have been. My advice is to go for the long shots over heart shots. As much as the heart shot will drop them instantly, the game's hit detection feels kind of off to being able to give you that accurate, or being able to get a reliable hit off on that. So we'll keep the rifle out and at the ready. Because it's kind of hard to say where that buck might have gone off to. Well, that... Okay, so the buck was actually around here originally. So it must have just been hiding up along the bank further when we saw all the females around here. I want to see if I can get into a bit of cover so our visibility goes down. Yeah, everything's a little too dense to be able to see quite well. This is where you can really get immersed into the game and this is where the real draw I found for kind of spotting and stalking your quarry is. Try to be nice and quiet, get towards the water again. I don't know if they would have gone off from here or not. It looks like, though, they've been around here quite a bit. Because these are all kind of drinking tracks. Well, there's that red fox again, but we don't really care about that. What time is it? 13. They might still be around here. This is right around where all the other ones were. So it could very well be just around the corner a little bit. Yeah, nothing so far. Yeah, it's not right up by the water. I think we're going to be right in with that herd of females we saw. I'll try to sneak off into here. We go. Give us a good amount of cover. Yeah, isn't that quite the interesting deer call? Okay, I think that's a female. Yeah, that was a female. I hear all kinds of them. But that brush is just hard to get a good visual through. And that red fox is still around here? Come on, shoo! I've already bagged 2 of your I guess species would be the best term. I'm not looking to get a third. Another female. Oh my gosh, where even are you? Right there, I guess. Now there's the group of the girls. But no signs of that male. And no warning call from him either. I think that might have spooked them off. I don't even see any prints from that male around here. Must have just been all the females. Well, we're basically at close to an hour mark. So maybe I'll even break this up into a couple of episodes. Oh, yeah, I know. Yeah, I know you know where I am. I wish you would have let our... You'd have let us find that buck, eh? Oh, you girls. That is something a little weird. I didn't know... I thought they might have stayed a little more together instead of split off into herds by gender. Unfortunately, it looks like we didn't get very lucky on this one. Oh, I know. Would you be quiet? I'm not going for you anymore. I wasn't even going for you in the first place. Well, with it raining on our parade, I think we'll probably leave this episode here. Unfortunately, we didn't get that fallow deer I was hoping we would. We at least did get to see a glimpse of it. So this is going to be, well, quite a long episode, almost an hour, but maybe it'll be worth it. Anyway, thank you guys very much for watching. I'll have the next episode going up in just a little while, and I'll try not to have it as long. I think with it being more directed and with a better focus than this one had, it'll be much shorter. So, until I see you guys again, remember as always, survivors, take care and stay alive.